Hey gang, welcome back to another video here at J Daddy's Garage. This video is just going to be an update as to what's going on right now. I know in the previous videos I showed you repair work done on the right front fender for the 68 Mustang known as Jade, and also talked about putting in an epoxy primer, and I'm still going to do that. I've been working on various parts that are associated with the fender. Now, I could just spray that fender with epoxy, wait for it to cure out for a period of time, do some other things. However, I'm trying to be proactive and try to take care of a bunch of things at the same time. So what I've been doing is cleaning up various pieces and parts that go to the car that haven't had enough attention yet. Those pieces are the rear valance, the front valance, the rock guard, and the headlight buckets. So I'll show you the progress on those as I go further into the video. But I also wanted to mention that I have a hood, a brand new hood, that is still in the box. I don't even think I ever opened that box, and I think I've had it for like 7 years. So I need to get that hood out, do some prep work to it as well, and those things take time. Now I'm not filming everything that I'm doing because, well, it's kind of boring in a sense, but that's what I'm trying to get done right now, is get all these pieces prepped. I know you're anticipating another video, so I'm just trying to give you some information. Along with that, I've been doing an assessment on various pieces and parts that belong to the car or go to the car. I'll show you some of those as well. And I have some other things I want to talk about, but before I go any further, I want to give a shout out to Rick, who sent me a license plate from Panama. As you probably know, I have a bunch of license plates on the wall of my garage. I have 49 of the 50 states. I'm still missing, I believe it's Vermont. I'm missing Vermont. But I have also have plates from Australia, Canada, US Samoa, and now I have Panama. So thank you, Rick, for that. That's going to go up on the wall. Let me show you some of the stuff I've been doing on these panels. So like I said, I've been stripping down the headlight buckets or bezels, and I want to point out a couple things on these as well. I had anticipated that these were original pieces, but they're not. As I've sanded them down, I found the telltale sign of the brown primer that lets me know that these are aftermarket, which isn't a big deal, but I'm just letting you know they're not original, but that's okay. They seem to fit the fender, and I'm going to make everything match these pieces. So I've sanded off all the paint that was on it. You can see how much is still on the driver's side. I haven't messed with it yet. I've also removed the headlight, and you know, I took the bezels, I guess you would call it the bezel interior ring out, and that'll need stripped as well. Here are those pieces, and again the brown on the back side tells me that these are aftermarket, which isn't a big deal, but I need to clean up all this stuff. So it's these little things that take time and really are kind of boring to watch, I would say. So to strip this, what I've used is a little bit of the Warrior disc that I've shown before. I've used it a little bit. You can't dig in with this because this thing is too aggressive. I mean, you have to be very careful because you could deform the shape of this. So I just barely took off any of the paint with it. From there, I used a smaller version of that, which is a 2-inch disc. I don't even know where I got this, honestly, but it's very similar to that Warrior disc. And this worked out really well because I could just gently make contact and take off material. So that cleaned that up a lot. And then I also used the DA 80 grit and was able to clean up most of this with that. There were a few areas where it was a little more challenging, and that is below this flange right here, let's say. And what I had to do is put some sandpaper on a paint stick and kind of use the edge of it and sand that out. So these are looking pretty good. Obviously I still have this one to do, as like I said, but this is all part of the process. Let me show you what else I've been doing. Now again, stripping paint, right? This, I guess it would be called the rock guard because it looks like the rock guard, but you know, it connects between the left and right headlight bucket, and when I remove this, I realized, at least it appears, that it has the stamping in it that tells me it's original, right? But I don't know for sure, because I look on the back side and there's a piece of paper. Now I can't say, looking at it, that it's not original. Normally you see like a date code like that stamped into it, and it says, hey, you know, original material, but I don't know for sure. It doesn't really matter, I'm still using it, but I did find that somebody had cut through this to remove a bolt or something, and they had a big gouge in here, so I welded this back together, and otherwise just, you know, tried to strip off all of the old paint. So that's that piece. This piece, front valance, is an aftermarket piece, definitely. You know, I looked at it and I was really hoping that it was an original piece until I turned it over and I spotted the telltale sticker, aftermarket, which isn't, again, a big deal. As long as it fits the car, I'm okay with that. The other thing that it had wrong was in this area right here. For some reason there was a split where this piece was broken and separated. So I welded that back together to get that shape correct. And then I used a hammer and dolly to knock out a couple little dents in it. But overall, this looks pretty good. I had thought about experimenting a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it or not. You know, this is where your license plate goes. I doubt I'll ever have a license plate on the front of this car, but I had thought about making a series of cuts here and bending this back to create more of an air scoop to get air up into the radiator area. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to try that, but it is an idea that I have. Rear valance. Now this is a whole different story. This thing is an original piece, and it has definitely been around. Over here, there were some broken out areas, and I welded those back together. It does have the little bracket on the end here. It did have a hole where they had drilled through because they put a screw into the bottom of the quarter panel. And then on this side, they just cut off that piece entirely. So I'll either harvest one of those from an old valance panel that I have, or I'll just make a new one. I do not want to put the screw down in the corner again. This side was pretty beat up, and I've showed pictures of it on Facebook. This had like that much Bondo on top of it. So I did use the hammer dolly and try to get as much of it straightened out as best I could. It's still going to take filler, but that's okay. As long as I have the basic shape there, I can deal with that. There was also some dents over here where the little bumperette, whatever you want to call it, piece goes. And I don't know if it got hit and put a crease in here, but again, straighten most of that out. Otherwise, everything else is stripped off. So that's where this piece is. A couple of the pieces I want to talk about are the trim that goes around the grill opening. I have apparently 4 of these. I'm guessing 2 of each. So these were in the car whenever I bought it. This one I think was actually attached to the surround, the rock guard and stuff. So these, I've seen like the end here is kind of rolled over. Pretty sure that's not the way it's supposed to look. So I'll have to pick out the best 2 pieces that I can use to work on, put on the car. Along with that, I have the trim pieces that go inside. Now I think I may have another set of these, I'm not sure, but it looks like these were on the car when they painted it the last time. So a bunch of overspray on it. I am missing the centerpiece that overlaps these 2 pieces, so I'll have to come up with that. And I'll have to figure out if I want to just strip these or what, because this area here it appears to be an argent silver color, and this area up here would have been polished. Up here would have been polished. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do just yet, but it's little things like this that I have to figure out before I make too much progress. If you remember the first video of this car, the very first walk around, I show this grill. Now, obviously it's not the correct grill for this Mustang. It's out of a 2005 Mustang. And the guy who had it before me, I'm assuming they wanted to put these lights in and make it part of, you know, the front end design. The problem is, it's a little short. You know, you end up with this area that's no good, among other things. But the grill, they just cut it apart and put the lights through it. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this just yet. I think I do have another insert available. So again, these are some of the little things that just take time and have to figure out. I think it looks kind of cool to have those lights, but I may consider, if I can, if there's enough room, putting them behind this grill. Although, you know, it would look nice to have it sticking out like that, but I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with this just yet. Some other little things that have to be looked at are the parking lights that go up front. I was hoping I would just be able to use these, but I think I'm going to have to buy new ones. I don't know what condition this wire is in. I don't know if somebody just cut that, you know, but I don't want to take a chance on this wire causing problems. So I think I'll just order some new ones of these. I can see it's got it still has a lot of paint on it. So I may be able to, I don't know if I have to reuse these bezels or if it comes with new ones. I haven't looked into it that far yet. So that is another thing that I have to play with. And then there's some smaller things, you know, like trim. You know, whether I want to keep these with the 289 in them or buy new ones, because the engine that's in it now is a 302, but I know it came with a 289. They're in decent shape, and you know, I may be able to clean them up, add some color to them, be good with it. These, they're okay. They're decent, but again, I have to think, well, is it going to look good enough on the car, or do I need to consider buying new ones that are nice and shiny? So little stuff like that, you know, it takes up time and you have to think about. Another thing that I'll probably do a future video on, something that I bought recently and I wanted to see how well it would work. So I bought Kill Mat, and this is the 80 mils thick, 18 square feet. Along with that, I bought a little kit, a little roller deals. So there's one, there's two, a little bit narrower, and a third one, a little bit narrower still. Now all of this I bought off of Amazon, so I'll try to post links to that sort of thing if you're interested. The Kill Mat, I've heard good things about it. The price seemed to make sense, so that's why I bought it. A little instruction sheet. Yeah. I'm not going to get into getting that all the way out and playing with it, but that'll come later. So as I said, I just wanted to do a short kind of video to show you what's going on, what I'm working on, and what's going to be coming very shortly. So hopefully this satisfies your need for a video, but I feel it's fair to show you what's going on and give you an update. Other than that, things are going good. I'm looking forward to getting, again, the fender in epoxy, the rest of those pieces in epoxy, and then going forward, getting those pieces on the car to make sure everything lines up and fits properly, and then drive on from there. But that'll be the end of this video, so thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya. Hey gang. Hey gang. Welcome back to another video here at J Daddy's Garage. Now this video is going to be more of an update video because I know that people have been Hey gang, welcome back to another video here at J Daddy's Garage. I know you're anticipating another Hey gang, welcome back to another video here at J Daddy's Garage. I have some other No. I'm staying busy, like I said, cleaning up these pieces.